What really does well all year round, that's not just seasonal, is the
Hey everyone, I'm here with Heather Marie. Thanks for joining me on my channel. How you doing?
good. Thanks for having me, Juna.
We're not going to do a interview today, which I need to do an interview with you, but you've been helping me out because I want to tell people I'm not great at Etsy. I don't have an Etsy shop. And so I wanted to have you on here. You're definitely top 1% Etsy seller. And I wanted to have you on here to tell my followers kind of the top 5 products going into Q4 for Etsy and from Printify. So I had Steven on here a while back, and he talked about ornaments, but I wanted to let other people know that, other products that they can use and sell on Etsy. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'm happy to share all my knowledge on the things that are really selling right now. So excited to get into it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, before we share that, I wanted to give people just a little bit of your bio. Here we go. Heather Marie is a top 1% Etsy and print-on-demand business owner, a dog mom, and a print-on-demand YouTuber. Her YouTube channel is called Heather Studio. On that channel, she teaches others how to start, grow, and scale their own Etsy and print-on-demand business. You can also learn more about print-on-demand on her website, Heather X Studio, which she has links to all her social media profiles and a print-on-demand crash course. Heather, thanks for being on my channel again. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the top 5, in your opinion, the Printify products that you can sell on Etsy. Is that cool?
Yeah. So
All right.
the first product on my list is kind of what you already mentioned earlier with Stephen Chin.
Yeah.
Personalizable ornaments
That's so
is
cool.
probably number one around the holidays in quarter four. I would say this product starts selling as soon as July. It's actually, surprisingly to a lot of people, a all year round seller at times, especially when some common niches of this product type are gifts for first year married, or new homeowner gifts, or new dog owner gifts, things like that, that actually do sell all year round, not just in quarter four, but of course, around this time of year, that's when sales really start to rev up. So generally speaking, around this quarter four, a lot of shops that are selling and are ranking as a top listing on Etsy, whether that be with the Popular Now badge or bestseller listing badges, those tend to do usually around and well over $20,000 in revenue per month.
Wow.
Of course, when we're talking just revenue, it's not factoring in all the expenses, but still for the profit margins, you're looking at the lowest 10%, depending on people's pricing strategy, but you can have profit margins up to 25%. So you're still looking at a few $1,000s of profit per month by just one ornament alone. So it's a really great product type to go into. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Did you want to show some examples?
Yeah, definitely. I can bring up my screen here. So as we can see going down the list here, I have personalized ornaments just typed into the search bar. And a lot of these products are from handmade sellers. I will say that that's usually, on Etsy, that's what we're competing with, is handmade. And also the other print on demand sellers. So with that being said, going down the list, there's a few print on demand versions of these ornaments that we can kind of see here. So there's a personalized pet watercolor ornament, which is super cute and creative, by the way. If we click into it, I'm just curious to see what the revenue that the seller is bringing in. So I'm just going to analyze listing. And
with Everbee, this is cool.
Yeah. I was going to say, sometimes if it's a newer, so this ornament's 1 month old and 4 sales, but maybe this isn't necessarily accurately tracking just yet, though, is my guess, just due to it looks like with Everbee, sometimes Everbee tracks in the past month's data. So this may be pulling September's data, and that's why we see 8 people bought in the last 24 hours. So it's probably not tracking this month yet. but next month we'll be able to pull data on this as well and
Okay.
kind of see how much it's selling. But still, 8 people bought in the last 24 hours. So that's a pretty good indicator of
Yeah,
what's
and it was
selling.
on page 1, right? This is page
Yeah.
1? That's
Yep.
pretty cool.
Page
So it's
one
a
of search
brand new, um, product
listing.
there and made it on page 1. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and I'm just going to run analytics on this page. But as we could see going down the page here, there are a lot of listings doing really, really well. What I
Mhm.
like to tab to is just the highest revenue that we have per listing that's doing
Mm.
really well right now. So one is just a letter name ornament. I'm going to pull this up here just to show for context. So this is just a heart-shaped
Oh,
ornament with a little letter and a name and the year underneath it. And 30 people have bought this ornament
wow.
in the last 24 hours, which is really awesome to see. We're seeing that there is a need for this type of niche that looks like the custom initial ornaments, monogram ornaments. So that's something to rank for, a family keepsake. I will say that I know a lot of print on demand business owners see the price of $8.99 and it's like, oh, how do you compete with that? A lot of the time, some of these sellers are handmade. So that's one thing to note. But with that being said, you still can compete in these markets and still
Mhm.
see a profit. If we go to Printify and we look for, there are some heart wooden ornaments.
Oh, you're
So
right, yeah.
yeah, so if you have Printify Premium, that would be 5.98. But if you don't have Printify Premium, it's usually 7.76.
Mhm.
But if you were still competing in this category and we were to sell at, even with 5.76, our production fees at highest, this is a product I probably price around 14.99
Okay.
range. I know a lot of people when they go on to Etsy, it's like, oh, there are those handmade sellers that are selling these listings at under $10, but you still can compete and sell ornaments on repeat at 14.99. That's something that I've played around with, is kind of still pricing so I see a profit in my print on demand business, even when
Mhm.
you're kind of seeing that huge competition, at least with competing with the handmade sellers.
That's cool.
Um, so yeah, and some of these, like even the pricing for the personalized gingerbread, the other holiday listings here, the average prices are ranging from $18 to $19.
Mm.
Some of the lower ones are $12. So basically, that's kind of what to think about if you're looking to compete in this market. But as we can see, a lot of listings, I mean, we have, I'd say, over 5 listings doing over 10K in revenue a month
Wow.
currently. And I know when it comes to the next few months, it does almost double. So that's kind of cool to see that these are already doing so well. So,
That's just for that one product, right? Is that how
yep.
that's wow. So that one product is giving you thousands of dollars a month? That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and
That's
a lot of the sellers in this market and this product category are selling usually multiple ornament listings, not
wow.
just one, and they may
Yeah.
be ranking for different search terms. For this search term, I only put in personalized ornament, so could be completely, a new ball game if you're selling multiple of these types of products. So,
That's amazing. Okay, cool. So we
yeah.
know ornaments, number one, just like Stephen was saying, and you're confirming it, and we're showing that it's selling right now too. Like they're pretty hot right now. So, all right,
Yeah.
what's another one? What's another product that we should be looking out for if you're selling?
Yeah, so the second product that really sells during the holiday season is the family Christmas t-shirts or just family holiday t-shirts. So
Okay.
products that are group family t-shirt listings, such as maybe most likely to types of
Oh,
t-shirts,
mm-hmm.
or yeah, like kind of the funnier types of t-shirts that you could put a funny Christmas quote on a t-shirt, or even I've seen a lot of people who are selling Thanksgiving t-shirts that are family
Mm-hmm.
t-shirts to wear at your party for Thanksgiving. Those are always really funny. The ones that say like mashed potatoes or,
Yeah,
like,
I've seen those.
yeah, like the favorite types of foods for
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving. I think those are all hilarious.
Yeah.
So,
Like that. So you got
yeah,
some stats here. Let's
yeah.
okay.
So I have pulled up just going over the monthly revenue that we're currently seeing as far as Christmas themed family
Okay.
t-shirts go. So we have just quotes on t-shirts related to Christmas basically on these. If I pull up one of the top ones that's
Okay.
doing 24,000 in monthly
Wow.
revenue.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And usually these t-shirts do better in the next month too
Oh, I
here.
see
So
that. Yeah, because we still got time for Christmas.
yeah, exactly. So these are gonna just kind of go higher and higher. But even in the past 24 hours, 238 people bought this item
Whoa.
at that is just amazing.
Yeah.
So hats off to this person who created all of these really creative and
Mm-hmm.
hilarious, most likely
Mm-hmm.
two t-shirts. As we can see, what they do is they have all their designs that a customer can choose from.
Smart.
Yeah.
And they
So,
just pick design this and design that, and that's neat. That's a neat way to
yep.
do it.
Yeah. And again, going back to just pricing, I like to mention pricing in videos when I'm showing this because I know a lot of people, it's like, oh, $8.99. Again, how do we compete? And a lot of the times that low price is usually a youth t-shirt or a baby
Mm,
onesie.
interesting.
Um, as we can see here, bodysuit 24 months old. So that's $8.99. But their t-shirts are for unisex t-shirts is around $13.70. And then if they wanted it on a sweatshirt, we're looking at $20.99.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still very able for us to compete as print on
Mm-hmm.
demand sellers because usually on Printify for like a Bella and Canvas 3001, we're looking at about like $8 to $10 production fees. Given we do have Etsy fees and things like that, but you could still get some nice profit over time. And again, we don't have to price as low as these sellers
Mm-hmm.
because some of the times they have their own in-house,
Mm-hmm.
handmade warehouses that they're doing this themselves rather than print on demand. So you can price a little bit higher and still be competitive,
That makes
basically.
sense. That makes
So
sense. Cool.
yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. And I like this because it's like this is another way to customize. I don't know if we can do it this way, but they're kind of customizing it, right? Because you can pick one. So the
Yeah.
customizable thing is
Yep.
popular. So cool, cool, cool. All right. So t-shirts. We got the ornaments. All right. So number three, we're doing it in a random order. We know ornaments is kind of maybe number one, but the other ones maybe random order, right? So
Yes.
what do you think? What's another one that people should focus on for this year?
Yeah, so the next one is the funny punny types of mugs.
Oh,
So
mugs. Yeah.
yes, yes, and they do especially well for more of like coworker gifts. These just are really great gifts to give either a coworker, let's say that you are a teacher and you have a lot of other teachers and you're doing maybe some type of like white elephant
Mm-hmm.
gift or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. This is just a really great product to
Mm-hmm.
sell around the holiday season that is maybe like a funny holiday mug type
Mm-hmm.
of gift for a coworker. So I'm just gonna search it up and
Okay.
show some examples.
This would be cool. I like that idea because like it's the time that we drink out of mugs most of the time, right? For like hot drinks and coffee and cocoa, hot cocoa and things like that. So it makes sense to have mugs during the holidays. So,
Yep,
right, let me see
yeah,
what you got here. I'll pull it up. Oh, cool. Oh, there we
yep.
go. Mugs. Yeah.
Yeah, so of course, since I just searched up ornaments, we're having some of my
Crossover.
historical,
Yeah.
yeah, the crossovers coming in right now. But
Yeah.
outside of that, we have some really funny ones like emotional support coworker, other words that I won't say on on your channel, Juna, just so I don't get your
But they're still funny.
yes, yes. And chaos coordinator, boss mugs. So, and
Uh,
these sell all year round too. And you'll see a pickup in sales around the holidays, which is kind of
wow.
really nice. That's like the added bonus of doing the coworker mugs,
Mm-hmm.
especially ranking for coworker leaving gifts or retirement gifts. I think these just do well all year round. And then sales pick up around the
Mm-hmm.
end of the year because it's like, I
Oh,
don't know
good.
if you have a
Yeah.
yeah, like a coworker bestie. It's like, oh, that's like my best friend that I work with every day. I'm
Mhm.
going to get them a funny mug for Christmas. So,
Yeah, or let's get everybody mugs, right?
yep,
That'd be awesome.
exactly.
Cool. This is awesome. All right. Um, let's go to that. Is that all you wanted to show for that one? Is that cool?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So let's get into number 4.
yeah.
What do we have? What's another product that people can sell on Etsy from Printify?
So the fourth product is ugly Christmas sweaters. These are, again, they go along the lines of
It's
just,
perfect. Yeah.
yeah, something seasonal. It's funny, it's fun, and there's a lot of really hilarious Christmas sweaters I have seen. Um, I will also mention during this part of the video that there can be also a lot of things that get copyrighted with Christmas
Mm.
sweaters that
Mm-hmm.
I would highly recommend staying away from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know like some people quote the I think it's A Christmas Story.
I'm
I
sure. Yeah.
yeah, I see that a lot. Christmas Vacation. I think it's National Lampoon, or if I always get the name wrong, but
Yeah. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those tend to get a lot of the times put on
Mm-hmm.
sweatshirts and then resold on Etsy. So just a warning to not do that
Don't
on
do that.
any,
Yeah.
yeah, on any type of platform, especially like Etsy or Amazon or wherever you're at. You definitely don't want to go downhill as far as getting
Yeah.
flagged or suspended. But
Lose your account. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I will just show some of the
Okay. And if we
kind of,
see any of those, that's an example of what not to do. Right? Yeah.
yes, yes, exactly.
Okay.
So
Let's see what we got here. Oh,
yeah,
cool. Oh,
yeah.
some
So
customizable stuff too. Again, that's
yep.
interesting.
Yeah. So one of the examples, unfortunately, I feel like this is probably not the best time to mention this, but the whole Friends
Oh, yeah.
with the copyrighted characters, and this is something that's it's kind of a quick grab for people to make money on, but
Mm-hmm.
this is definitely not allowed as far as Etsy and being on a third party platform.
Mm-hmm.
Showing Friends on a sweatshirt or anything like that,
Yeah,
anything related to Friends, you can get permanently suspended on Etsy.
absolutely.
Um, Sorry to the seller who may get, kind of,
There's
you
another
know,
one. Yeah.
yeah, yep. So Grinch, again, that's not something that I would personally do, but even doing a custom text
Yeah,
type of sweatshirt, those do really well.
that's cool.
And then just funny quotes on sweatshirts. These get super creative. Like the
Mm-hmm.
funny couples, ugly Christmas sweater one. Again, I won't read that on your channel. I feel like your channel's a lot like mine, where we keep it as like PG as
Yeah.
we can.
Yes, I do
So
like to keep it PG.
yeah. So your custom text, I'm just going to pull up some analytics to show,
Okay,
but
this is a cool one.
yeah, so 887 total sales. So not as high of monthly revenue, but it has a lot in cart right now that may
Wow.
get purchased in the next 30 days, maybe.
Wow.
So just kind of one example of what to do as far as personalization goes. Personalization just does really, really well
Mm-hmm.
around this time of year, especially on Etsy. So
So cool. That's so cool. That's smart too to do that. I like that you can do that. And that was a good example on how to do like a Christmas. So it's a sweater design, but it's on a sweatshirt, right? That's how
yep.
to do it. Yeah. Cool. All right. All right. So we're here on the last one. What do we got left? What's a good one?
Yeah. So the final one to talk about is blankets. And
Blankets. Cool.
yeah, yeah, blankets are just such a nice product to add to any print on demand shop. I feel like they are just a unique product, and you can create blankets for decorative throw blankets. So
Mm-hmm.
if you even did like a plaid patterned blanket
Oh,
that you
really?
could sell as decorative throws,
Okay.
what really does well all year round, that's not just seasonal, is the personalization kids blankets.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, those do really, really well. And just like a repeated name on a blanket can do, I mean, I always look at blankets to pull up for data purposes, but
Mm-hmm.
usually it's well over 5 figures on a monthly basis. And
Wow.
yeah, blankets tend to do close to 50% profit margin if you're pricing it. It always comes down to your pricing
Mm-hmm.
strategy, But a lot of sellers, if you really price correctly, you can get up to 50% profit margins with blankets, which is kind of really nice, especially if you have a company like Printify that you're using that has those low production fees. So I'm just going to pull up another example here just of
Okay.
blankets that are doing really
I'll,
well.
I'll share. Here we go. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. It is just
Yeah, sorry.
names. That's really cool.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm just going to pull up the higher end of the monthly revenue. But
Okay.
as we can see, the top 5 sellers are making over $20,000
Wow.
in monthly revenue. And again, this is just one listing for a lot
One
of these
listing.
sellers. Yep.
It's
So
amazing.
if I pulled up the top one here, this
Okay.
listing's been only up for 11 months and it's
Okay. Wow.
already hitting over $60,000 in monthly
Holy
revenue.
cow.
Yeah, so these just tend to do so well, and they're such a good Christmas gift too for
See,
maybe
yeah,
someone who it's like their first Christmas baby blanket, or maybe a toddler's baby blanket. So it's
that's
just
so
really,
neat.
yeah. So
So it's
30,
just so it's the name and different fonts is the customizable part. So you can customize the name, but also like the font. It looks like in this case.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
That's what makes it just so unique, I think. And
Oh, and
these,
color.
yeah, yep,
Wow, so smart. And it's just you get the name from the person. So
yep.
yeah, you don't have to actually know what name to put in there. You can just add it later. Wow. Wow.
Exactly. And it
That's
looks
really
like
neat.
I know a lot of people look for mock-up images
Mm-hmm.
to do overlays, but
Mm-hmm.
with blankets, what I really suggest, and I know it is a heavy investment to buy samples of your products, but
Samples, yeah.
with the way these print, I would really suggest that because the print on blankets can come out more vibrant in person or maybe a
Mm,
little bit more dull. So it's really good to maybe order samples of this and take pictures because as we can see this specific seller, it looks like they ordered their own samples or maybe they print at home. It might be handmade. I don't want to always classify every shop as print on demand, but
mm-hmm.
this is definitely something I would personally order samples on and put side by side and take a picture for your main product photo.
Yeah.
I think that really goes a long way in this specific product category. So
That makes a lot of sense. And I was thinking when you mentioned buying your own products, like you can just buy it for your nieces or nephews or brothers or sister or whatever, and you can give it out as your own Christmas gifts too. So like a 2-for-1, it's perfect. So
yep,
wow, that's
exactly.
awesome. Awesome. I like that. So thanks for sharing those. I'm going to read over them one more time. So the first one was ornaments, right? The second one was like festival, funny festive T-shirts. Is that kind of what we
Yep.
talked about? The third one, let me see if I can remember. We talked about mugs, the funny
Mhm.
mugs mostly, right? Sweatshirts, funny sweater designed kind of sweatshirts. It looks like a ugly sweater, but it's on a sweatshirt. And then the last one, which I think is really great, I didn't even think about, is blankets. So that's awesome. These are
Yeah.
great. Okay, so I'll put the list right here in editing. These are all the 5, and people can try those out this year, and hopefully get a lot of sales on Etsy, and that'd be great. So
Yeah.
cool. Thanks so much for sharing that, Heather. Before we leave and get off this video, I wanted to let people know where to find you and like talk about maybe your YouTube channel, your website, and I know you have a crash course too. So all of those things, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, definitely. So everyone can find me on my YouTube channel, Heather Studio. I also have a free crash course. So if you're looking to dive into Etsy and print on demand specifically, that's where I give the basic fundamentals of how to start an Etsy and print on demand business from the very beginning, how to set up shop, and what you need to know when you're starting this type of business model. Also, speaking about the personalized blankets, I do have a full tutorial on how to do personalization blankets coming out in the next, I think, few weeks here.
Okay.
I just recorded it, but we are a few weeks ahead usually on like our queue for posting. So it's looking like probably in 3 weeks-ish, I'm going to have a full tutorial on that as well, posting soon. So if anyone wants to learn more as far as tutorials go, I do a lot of full tutorials on my YouTube channel as well. Just like you do, Juno, with yours. I know you're always doing those, which I absolutely love as well.
Oh,
So
thanks.
yeah.
That's cool. Cool. Well, thanks so much for sharing that. Can't wait to see that. I haven't designed for a blanket, so this would be good. I'm gonna have to look out for that in 3 weeks or so. I think that's great, and maybe buy some for Christmas presents, right? For
Yeah.
for family, that would be awesome. I was thinking what to get people for Christmas, and I think everybody loves blankets. It's getting colder, and so that's
Oh
awesome.
yeah. Yep.
Well, thanks so much, Heather. Thanks for being on my channel. We might have to do an actual interview sometime in the future, so we'll hopefully see you back on the channel again and get to know you a little bit better. But thanks so much for sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me, Juna.
Of course, anytime. We'll see you
All right.
later.
See you guys.
All right. Bye.